Oh, hey, what's up, guys? So, I am waking up this morning to this whole um, power outage debacle. Oh, my goodness. So, apparently, CrowdStrike basically did an update um, and it has caused a worldwide power outage. A worldwide power outage off of update, one update. And this update has taken down computer systems globally. It has affected hospitals. It has affected airlines. Um, it has affected a lot of computer systems. It has affected banks. Oh my goodness. I want to see exactly what has caused this issue. So it's saying here that the outage, and I'm reading this off of CNN, is saying that the outage appears to stem partly from a software update for Microsoft Windows operating systems issued by cybersecurity from CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike issued a software update for for Microsoft Windows. Now in the background you guys are going to hear my little nephew. He's one, so he's pretty talkative. We don't know what he's saying, but you're gonna hear him in the background and maybe his toys. I'm in another part of the house, but he's definitely near. So here it says that the U.S. cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike, okay, is behind the power outage, disrupting major infrastructure worldwide. And it's saying that the global outage is affecting airports, banks, and other businesses. And this is happening on a Friday, guys. On a Friday. So this software update, was issued by CrowdStrike. And CrowdStrike, guys, is a major U.S. cybersecurity firm. Now, you would think they would have their act together, but apparently they don't. And it sounds like somebody's going to definitely lose their job. Somebody has to lose their job behind this. They have to, because you can't have an outage like this that brings down so many companies. Guys, this is billions and billions of dollars. Billions of dollars that is on the line. And it says here that CrowdStrike told customers early Friday that the outages were caused by a defect found in a single content update of its Microsoft of its software on Microsoft Windows operating system. Now it says here, CrowdStrike cybersecurity software used by numerous Fortune 500 companies, including major banks, major global banks, healthcare, and energy companies. Um, the software detects and blocks hacking threats. It says the company said the outage was not caused by a security incident or a cyber attack. Okay. The CEO Kurtz said that the issue was identified and isolated, and engineers deployed an update to the fix. And of course, their stock has fell 10% in pre-market trading, and when the market opens at 9:30, I'm sure it's going to fall even more. Shorts are definitely going to be on their game today. Now it says here that Kurt said that they're resolving the issue, but guys, it's going to take a minute for all of these systems to get back online. I hear that there are lines at the airport, just lines just going as far as the eyes can see. And it says here that as systems come back online, as they're rebooted, um, they're saying that they want what you, Max? Hey, Max. I'm just talking about the global power outage. Anyway, I'm talking about the power outage that's going on globally. I don't know if you're affected by it, but anyway, um, so okay, so right now, CrowdStrike is working with Microsoft um, to resolve this issue. They are saying that they have deployed a fix for it, and slowly systems should be coming back online. So this is a big deal, guys. They have this power outage, I'm sorry, this global tech outage has brought down computer systems, the airport, the banks, hospitals, all over an update. And this can happen at any time. I mean, we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, why something like this happened, but okay, well, go charge your phone, Max. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you so much. Give me a thumbs up before you leave. I appreciate you. You have a good day, okay? So it says here, and as you might imagine, we've been on with our customers all night working with them. Many of the customers are rebooting the system and it's coming up and it'll be operational because we fixed it on our end. And some of the systems that aren't recovering, we're working with them. So there are some systems, guys, that are not recovering. Now, CrowdStrike said that they have issued the update. Okay, they issued the update, they fixed it. Their engineers have fixed it. They're telling customers to reboot their computer systems. Uh, it looks like some of the customers are successful and or have been successful in rebooting their systems, while others are still having issues. Okay, don't know what industry or what companies are still having issues, but they do have some companies that have not been brought back online. And it says here, it is our mission. It is our mission. It's why we're here to make sure that every customer is fully recovered, and we're not going to relent until we get every customer back to where they were. And we continue to protect them and keep the bad guys out of their systems. Now, I find that statement kind of funny because they're saying that we're trying to protect them and we want to continue to protect them and keep the bad guys out of their system. Well, you know, who brought down the system? Who has brought them down? Ugh, can't talk. Who has brought down their individual systems? The company that is supposed to protect them. So I kind of find that statement kind of funny. Um, Not sure why this has happened, but to me, I feel like somebody, somebody's head gonna roll on this one. You can't bring down all of these people and not have an answer for it. You understand? Not have a correction for it. So it says here, we're deeply sorry for the impact that we caused to customers, travelers, to anyone affected by this, including our companies. And this is the thing, guys. There are people who are traveling that need to catch flights to weddings, cruise ships. They need to catch connecting flights. I cannot imagine something like this. And this is why you always have to prepare. Prepare in advance. So let's just say you're supposed to be in Miami on a Friday to catch a cruise. You want to make sure that you're in Miami at least by Wednesday. I'm going to say Wednesday. Thursday, you're kind of cutting it close. But there are a lot of people who have missed their flights. There are a lot of people who have missed connecting flights. A lot of people who have ruined vacations. They have ruined weddings, all because of this power out. I mean this tech outage, and it's terrible. This is definitely not good at all. So it's saying that international airlines are affected, banks and hospitals. Um, yeah. So again, what's behind the power outage? It seems like a software update issued by CrowdStrike on Microsoft Windows system, saying that the U.S. cybersecurity firm told customers early Friday that engineers were addressing the problem. And it says the issue is specific to Falcon, which is designed to protect files saved in the cloud. And I mean, they want you to believe that your files are being saved like up in the air. Your files are being saved on a server. Um, some of the questions are, how long will the outage last? And Microsoft said the underlying cause of the outage has been fixed, adding that residual impact is still affecting some services. So basically, what that means is they have fixed the problem, um, but of course, by fixing the problem, they now have a backlog. Let's just say the airport has a backlog. All of these flights ended up getting canceled. Now they're trying to get everything back online. So there's pretty much like a bottleneck. So I do know that some businesses still are having issues. They can't get some businesses or some computers up and running because of this issue. So again, there's gonna definitely be that residual impact that's going to affect some services. For some businesses, this issue may not be fixed until next week. Okay, and this is the type of thing that can literally bring a business down. I mean, when you talk about Friday, Friday is a busy, busy day for a lot of companies, a lot of businesses, definitely for a lot of banks. Okay. um you know, it, it's like you conduct your business on a Friday because Saturday and Sunday are the weekend. So Fridays are tend to be very busy days. People travel on Friday, and so if they are traveling internationally and they need to take a connecting flight, that connecting flight is not going to happen now because most of the people have, missed their flights. So they're saying here that some of the services have been restored, but others are still grappling with disruption. Yeah, and that's understandable. That's going to that's going to happen. So it says here, who has been affected? Global banks have been affected. Medical services has been affected. And it says critical infrastructure has been affected by the outage. So critical infrastructure, what does that mean? Here, your medical provider, including the UK National Service, and one of Europe's largest health facilities in northern Germany has been stifled by IT delays. Now imagine here, in the various um, health health facilities, um, you know, there's possibility surgeries are delayed. um, they can't access patient records. um, just imagine just the computer system in a hospital being down. There's no way to possibly verify insurance. This whole thing is a mess. And it's saying here that the outage affects Europe's largest health facility in northern Germany. Okay. Also says here that banks and broadcasting outlets have been affected, as well as supermarkets, guys, in Australia. Supermarkets. That's why I tell people all the time, you want to make sure that you have, um, food in your house. You want to make sure that you have so much food for your household, so much water for your household. I live in Florida, so right around, guys, my nephew is out there babbling. But anyway, I always I always tell people, you know, you want to have at least, you know, bare minimum, you know, it just minimum 3 months of food in your house, preferably 6 months to a year of food in your house, and you can always rotate it. You can, whatever you eat, you replenish. Okay, whatever you eat, you replenish. And I have food in my house that I haven't touched, like but the when I go to the store, I look at the expiration date. So I have things, in my pantry that expire in 2025. Now, do I need to start eating those foods? Absolutely, because I'm sure there are things in the store that are 2026, and I know I'm going to get someone that says, "Oh, if it's 2025, 2026, then it has a whole lot of preservatives." Anyway, it says here that um, supermarkets in Australia, New Zealand, and the UK are affected. I mean, and see, this is the thing. This is why you want to have, bare minimum 3 months of 3 months of let me just remove this comment. This is why you want to have 3 months of food in your house, because at any time a grocery store, a supermarket can go down. And here it is, you're thinking, okay, let me just take some cash in there and, I'll be able to get what I need. That's not necessarily so. Okay, that's not necessarily so. My nephew would wait until I'm on live to play with his little toy. Oh my God, somebody got him these three little trucks, and all three of them make noise. You hear this? Listen. And he has three of them that make noise. Anyway, I'm gonna try to get through this and then get off this live. I'm gonna go play with him for a little bit. So anyway, oh, well, this went out. Did it go out? Let me just get back to where I was. So here, let's talk about the airlines. So it says here, airlines worst hit. Um, so we have major airlines, global airlines all over the world that have been affected by this. They're saying that international carriers in Europe and Asia and the Middle East had to delay and cancel their flights. And it says there are around 110 scheduled commercial flights today. Um, so far, 1,390 flights have been canceled globally, and it's growing. Of course, it's growing. There's going to be a lot of canceled flights, definitely. And it says here the international response. The White House says it is looking into the disruption caused by Friday morning cyber outage. We're aware of the incident and we're looking into the issue and its impacts. And it also says here that the UK government has held an emergency meeting to discuss the power outage. So let's talk a little bit more about this UK emergency meeting that they had over the power outage. So it says here, and I'm looking at this is all from CNN. It says the UK government held an emergency COBR meeting to discuss the global tech outage. Okay, and they say we recognize the impact this is having on government is working closely with the respective sectors and industries on this issue, which is affecting services not only across the UK but also globally. So, yes, this isn't just affecting the UK, this is affecting everybody all over the globe. And it says here that the spokesperson added that she is not aware of any government business being hit by the outage. COBR stands for Cabinet Office Briefing Room. Basically, they are a group of people that come together to talk about how. I'm sorry. This is a group that it says here that COBR meetings bring together a committee of government department representatives to discuss the nation's emergency response to crises. So it's just their way to assemble together to talk about, I guess, the various departments and what they do is they just, I guess, quickly assess how the country is being affected. I guess the various industries within the country are being affected. Now it says here that the White House says it's looking into the global outage, and the White House is looking into the disruption caused by a Friday morning cyber outage that has hit airlines and businesses around the world. So the White House is aware of the incident and they're looking into its impact. And again, this outage stems from a software update issued by the firm CrowdStrike. So let's look at the airlines. It's saying here that Delta pauses flights worldwide due to tech outage. Now, this is billions, guys. I don't think this is like $1 billion hit to airlines. Now, Delta says that it has paused its global flight schedule. So, Delta, at the time of the writing for this, basically halted all of their global flight schedule due to the IT outage that has hit airlines and businesses. And they said here, we are working to resolve the issue as quickly as possible to resume operations. And it says the airline says it intends to issue new travel waivers for impacted customers. So it's like who pays for this? I wonder if CrowdStrike has some sort of clause that basically prevents them from being sued by companies due to an update that causes an outage like this. I wonder if there's something in the contract that says this, because this impact this thing is impacting a lot of businesses. There's a lot of money that is being lost because of this update. So um I wonder if, you know, there's a clause in their contract that prevents them from being sued. Let's see here. So let's move on to something even more serious. It says here that emergency services and 911 outages reported across the U.S. Emergency communication services were down in several states on Friday morning following a global IT outage affecting, airports, banks, and other businesses. It says here that in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona to be exact, it said that the police department there has been impacted. Um, and they're saying here that if you need to call 911, stay on the line. If you are put on a brief hold, city IT is working diligently to find a workaround until the outage has been restored. Um, Alaska, it says here, many 911 and non emergency call centers aren't working properly across the state. In New Hampshire, it says some 911 services were down overnight in the across the state, but they have since been restored. Meanwhile, in New York, it says here critical infrastructure and emergency operations, including the 911 system, have not been impacted. And that's a good thing for New York. So I am going to circle back to the airlines. It looks like they have a lot of information here about the various airlines. So it says here multiple Asian airlines and airports have been affected by the global outage. Um, the failure of the IT system across the world have been caused by delays and issues at airports across Asia, causing several airlines to ground flights. So these flights are not going anywhere. So it says here that Air Asia said its core reservation and check-in system have been impacted by Microsoft tech issues. So people can't even make reservations and folk can't check in. So that's a major, major, major blow to them. It says here that Cebu, I like that name, Cebu Pacific Air said it was forced to handle all processes manually to the outage. Hey, there's still some companies that are able to handle things manually. That must have been a nightmare, or that must be a nightmare right now. But Cebu Pacific Air said that they're able to handle all processes manually. So I guess, some companies may just practice, do practice runs if their computer systems are down. Singapore Airlines said none of its flights have been impacted, but is experiencing technical difficulties. So if you have a flight on Singapore Air you're most likely going to be able to fly up out of wherever you are, because they're saying that none of their flights have been impacted. Now it says here Taiwan's Taiyuan International Airport says several of the airlines at the airport had been affected. Jetstar, Hong Kong Express, Jeju, and Scoot have all resorted to manual check-ins. So there are more airlines doing manual check-ins. And now Dubai International Airport said the check-in process for some airlines had been affected, but it is now back to operating normally. And that's a good thing for Dubai because a lot of people travel to and from that area. Now, Delhi Indahar, Delhi Indira Gandhi International Airport, and six Indian airlines have also reported technical difficulties. Jaipur International Airport said flights nationwide have been affected by the outage. Moving on to South Korea's Icheon International Airport said Air Premier, EasterJet, and several other airlines had been affected, and Korean Air, the country's flagship carrier, said it uses Amazon Web Services and so had not been affected. Now, I think some of these smaller companies may be greatly affected by this outage, and I think that some of these businesses are going to have to rethink their cybersecurity systems, whether or not they will continue to have Microsoft software on their systems or if they're going to go with something else. I know a lot of businesses that use Microsoft as their operational as their operating system. So let me see here. Oh, look at this. It says Poland's largest container terminal restores operations after outage. So Baltic Hub, Poland's largest container terminal, they have restored their operations. It says that earlier Friday, Baltic Hub said on its website it was struggling with a global Microsoft operating system failure, which was hampering the terminal's operation. Baltic Hub is Poland's largest and fastest growing container facility and the only deep water terminal in the Baltic region. So, I have to go back and take a look at that. What is a deep water terminal? That's interesting. Never heard of that. Oh my goodness. They're showing, oh Lord, have mercy. Look at the lines at Philadelphia International Airport. Someone said it's absolute madness. Lines moving nowhere. So the current situation, this was an hour and 32 minutes ago. current situation at Philadelphia's International Airport is absolutely insane right now, as passengers are impacted by a tech outage affecting flights around the world. Sakura was attempting to fly back home Friday morning to Los Angeles and said that the outage is already ruining his day, with lines moving nowhere as he and thousands others at the airport wait for answers. So we do know international flights were affected by this global tech outage. But now we see that domestic flights are affected as well. He said even if flights are just delayed, he expects many delays are going to eventually become canceled flights. Sakura told CNN that people have gotten through security, but all are just hanging out. We're all in the same system up. And if they don't, Sakura said he will have to have family drive nearly an hour to come get him at the airport. Now, that hour drive, I mean, I can do that in a blink of an eye. But what about somebody who's driving from New York? What if someone needs to get home from New York and they're in California? That's definitely not an hour drive. Sound like, people are going to have to either sleep in the airport or they're going to have to be put up in a hotel. So let's look at this. Let's move on to how this tech outage is affecting other parts of the US. So it says here that DC public transportation has been affected by the global outage. Public public transport, including trains and buses in Washington, D.C., have been impacted. The website, Washington Metropolitan Area Transit Authority, and a number of internal systems are down. Our IT teams are working to address this issue, they say. And it says here trains will be held up from their normal 5 a.m. start time. So here, guys, we have trains and buses in the DC outage. It says the Metro Access call center. I think I went out for a second. Major U.S. carriers, including Delta, major U.S. carriers, including Delta, United, and American Airlines, have had flights grounded. Um, hmm. According to the FAA, international airlines, including Virgin, Australia, and Qantas, have also seen disruptions. All right. So let's look at how this outage is affecting Europe's largest medical facility. One of Europe's largest medical care facilities located in Germany has been impacted. The German University Medical Center, I'm going to massacre this name, Schweg Holstein, canceled all elective procedures on Friday. Both locations in Kiel and Lubeck, northern Germany, have been affected. Outpatient clinics are closed. The care of our patients at the UKSH is secured, as is emergency care. Now, you guys know that is. Can you imagine people who have waited a while to have their outpatient procedure done and they get to the day of surgery and they can't have it? So, all those patients that were supposed to have their procedures done, they now have to wait and be rescheduled later on. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. So, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I think I have covered this entire power outage, global tech power outage. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel, and like the video. I really appreciate you all when you come in and you like the video and you come in on my live and you participate a little bit. But I am going to continue to do my lives, continue to do my video. One thing I'm going to address is I've had some people to ask, why don't you show your face? Why can't we see you? Guys, listen. I would gladly show my face when I hit 1,000 subscribers. If you guys are gonna make me work for my subscribers, I'm gonna make you work to see my face. So do me a favor and subscribe to my channel, help my channel grow, and listen to I should say watch some of my videos, so that I can get my watch time up. But I appreciate you guys. I hope you know this. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this morning. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And I pray that you're not impacted by this global tech outage. Okay, so have a wonderful day and thanks again for hanging out with me.